Well, isn't this just the news we all want to hear right now? And that is because MPs who lose their precious seats in the next general election are going to be showered with double, that's right, double the financial support. Because clearly the pain of losing an election must be cushioned by mountains of cash. I mean, it's not like the rest of us, mere mortals who lose our jobs get any sort of winding down payment at all. No, we just get to wallow in the joys of unemployment, watching repeats of daytime TV, whilst of course wondering if we'll have anything to eat other than noodles. But fear not, dear MPs, for your noble sacrifice of losing the election will now be met with a generous reward of 4 whole months' worth of wages, because apparently losing your seat in Parliament is akin to running a marathon. And of course, you need a prolonged period of rest and relaxation to recover from such a horrible endeavour. And let's not forget the absolutely logical reason for the Independent of Parliamentary Standards Authority, the IPSA. According to them, an MP's job is representing constituencies continues right up until election day. Well, obviously, of course, but that isn't quite the end of it, because those who manage to stick around for more than 2 years get even bigger payouts. Because clearly, the longer you've been an MP, the more you deserve to be compensated for the sheer agony of not being re-elected. It's just absolutely bonkers, isn't it? It's almost like a twisted version of retirement rewards, but instead of a golden watch or something like that, you get a hefty sum of taxpayer money. But, don't worry your dear heads, MPs, because this brilliant plan doesn't need approval from Parliament. The IPSA, in all of its wisdom, has decided to grant itself the power to make these rules in the first place. Because, why bother with votes when they can just hand out money like sweets on Halloween? Surely now losing an election is officially the most lucrative endeavour in town, isn't it? I mean, move over lottery tickets, because getting voted out of Parliament is bound to be the real ticket to financial success, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, though, they get more than £80,000 a year in salary and, of course, other expenses too. So surely they don't need this as well. I mean, the rest of us wouldn't get it, would we? But anyway, the article says that MPs who lose their seat in the next general election are to receive double the financial support. Winding down payments, as they're called, are designed to help departing MPs close their office and manage the departures of staff. And at the last general election, MPs received 2 months' wages after losing their seat, but this year will now be doubled to 4 months, following a ruling from the Independent Parliamentary Standards Authority, the IPSA, which governs MPs' expenses. Payments will not be made to MPs who opt to stand down before the election period, though. And whilst explaining the decision, the IPSA said that an MP's job of representing their constituencies continued right up to election day, and they would only begin to close their offices once a new MP has been elected. The IPSA also acknowledged that the time it takes to fully close an MP's parliamentary and financial affairs is longer than the time covered. The ruling said that former MPs will continue to have access to their normal budgets prorated for that of a 4-month period, and they will continue to employ staff as needed to assist them in winding up their affairs. MPs, though, who have served more than 2 years are also eligible for loss of office payments, with longer serving MPs receiving larger payment amounts. And the new system does not need at all to be approved by Parliament, as the IPSA has been granted the powers to make the rules itself. Which, of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but that kind of reminds me of a certain committee who was judging someone a little while ago. But anyway, payments will be available to all eligible MPs who leave Parliament in the next election. Of course, I don't know about you, but if anything, it kind of seems like they've let the power go to their heads, doesn't it? Especially without even having to be voted on. Or in the case of Rishi, which brings me on to this video where he could soon be out a lot sooner than he was planning.